Welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gomer and I'm a podcast engineer here. I'm excited to bring you another episode of the Blue Collar Crypto Show, Tim Torosian. We do here every Sunday at 4 and 5:30 p.m. Central. That is about crypto, business tips for blue collar workers and so on. So I'm going to pass it over to Tim to kick us off. So Tim, what do you have for us today?
Hi, this is Tim, Blue Collar Crypto Show. It feels like a year, but it's actually been about 4. That's a good thing, right? Feels like a year. It's been much longer. 4 years of doing this show. And I just want to talk about, to start off, about how good a resource YouTube is. And give it some time, but, start watching those YouTube videos if you want to know what's going on. Now, why am I sending you someplace else, right? You think, oh, yeah, come here. I got all the answers. Yeah, watch my show, Blue Collar Crypto. Yeah, you'll become a genius. You make wonderful investments, tons of money. Well, of course, if you watch my show, if you listen to my show, you will become wealthy. Okay, what's wrong with saying that? I'm going to give you ways to go. I'm going to make predictions. I'm not going to tell you that my predictions are not financial advice. Forget about that. Come on. That's what they're going to keep saying in all these YouTube videos. And why don't I just do things differently? I'm going to tell you what I think. That's why you're here. Why am I telling you? Well, I got all the answers, but I can't give you any of them because it's financial advice. Sorry, if you know what I'm talking about, if you understand what I'm saying, I don't know. I mean, why don't we just say what is and what isn't? What it is, as they say, Okay, so what it is XRP and Bitcoin, and there's some news, and I'm going to give you the news. And I guess I would recommend anybody that had money to buy Bitcoin. And why not? El Salvador uses Bitcoin for their currency, for their transactions every day, for everything. Buy milk, buy a car, buy a house. It's accepted currency. Bitcoin is their national currency, just like the dollar is our national currency here. Same exact thing. They just said, well, looks like it'll improve our economy if we use it. It's going to go up in value. Why not use it? Why not invest in something that isn't inflation? Like what they typically might use would be inflationary. Why not just use something that doesn't cause those problems? And build an economy on the back of, I don't know, one of the best commodities, currencies that exists, which is Bitcoin. So if they're doing it, how about you and me? Should we be taking some of our, maybe some of our bank accounts, maybe some of our 401ks, and putting it in Bitcoin? I mean, think about that. Why not? Bitcoin is supposedly go up in 10 times its value, maybe from $100,000 to $1.5 million. Don't we want our 401ks to go up 10 times? What if we take a little bit of a hit, 5 or 10%, whatever, minus 5 or 10% plus 1,000%? Wait a minute. It sounds like we're going to get 900% here for our retirement years. So why not put your 401k? And do you need a financial advisor to tell you to do this? Well, excuse me, but as I said before, none of these YouTube videos is claiming to be a financial advisor, but they're telling you what the greatest new coin is and for making predictions and then telling you, well, forget all that. I really didn't mean it. I'm not a financial advisor. What the heck, I've had a stockbroker's license. Maybe you can take some of my advice. Buy Bitcoin. Put your 401k into Bitcoin. What the heck? How about that for advice? So we're talking about Bitcoin right now. All right, let's stay on the subject. What else can we say about it? Portfolio. What do they call it? A percentage of your portfolio goes into Bitcoin. That's called hedging in the financial world, or you're trying to hedge against. What if Bitcoin goes up? Well, your whole portfolio goes up with it. So you don't have to put entire 401k or there's corporations doing this, buying Bitcoin. Banks are buying Bitcoin. What about you? Don't you think banks and corporations know what they're doing? Why are they buying Bitcoin? And is that good financial advice coming from them? Yeah, they buy an example. Is an example good advice? So everybody, there's a financial term for this. Putting a portion of your portfolio into Bitcoin. I don't know. Anybody in finance, anybody in investments knows this. They're always telling their clients, let's hedge against, they're going to tell their clients, let's suppose, put a part of your money into Bitcoin. I can get you Bitcoin, right? And they're excited, and maybe they'll get clients that way. Yeah, I got Bitcoin. My financial advisor said, buy Bitcoin. Just like buying gold. Yeah, you see commercials on TV, buy gold, put your retirement money into buy gold. People are always constantly, hey, it's digital gold. It's really not gold delivered to your house. What the heck? Gold is going to go up in value too. Okay? So, why is this? The economy is getting bigger. The whole world is getting bigger. Things are going up in value. Why are we not surprised? More of these countries are becoming bankable, like El Salvador is using Bitcoin. It's becoming a bankable country. Their credit is better because they're using it. So the whole economy will improve and increase, and everything will look like the United States soon once Bitcoin is adopted in all these countries, which is likely to happen if El Salvador is going to do it. Maybe some of these dominoes will fall. What about Bolivia, Uruguay? Who's next? Chile, Argentina. What if they use Bitcoin? And you're still holding dollars. And I'm not trying to make a run on the bank here. That might be irresponsible for me to do. But for you, you have to think about what's responsible for you. You have to think about, if the standard of the world is going to be Bitcoin and you're holding on to dollars, are you not following? Are you not going with a trend that's becoming a standard? So, seriously consider it. Everybody's doing it, so you should do it too. How's that for 10 minutes of why Bitcoin is a prudent investment? There are companies that are turning to the blockchain, which is Bitcoin, but companies that are improving their portfolios and their investment results and their revenues and profits because they're buying Bitcoin. They're like, well, what the heck? Why keep our money in stocks? Or why keep our stocks in our investment? Why not buy our stocks back from our investments and buy Bitcoin with the stocks that the corporation holds? Okay? I hope you're following this. The corporation, instead of holding dollars, is going to hold Bitcoin. It'll improve their balance sheet because the value of dollar goes down. And if they hold their assets, the bank holds their assets instead of dollars, they hold it in Bitcoin. Their asset value, their value of their company, and the strength of their company, and especially if their company is in a bad financial position, it makes them look better. So that's called Bitcoin. That's the wisdom of Bitcoin. I've always been a fan of it, and I understand it now better than ever. It's a good currency. Now let's go to XRP. This show is about Bitcoin and XRP. What can we say about XRP? Well, XRP is going to allow the Federal Reserve to access your crypto. It will allow the Federal Reserve to access crypto that you have. They want to get their hands on it. When I say crypto, I do mean Bitcoin. So the banks, United States banks, the Federal Reserve System that creates money, that prints money, the Fed, and we could get into that. But they want Bitcoin, and they can't do it as fast and as quickly and as reliably. With the way they bank now, it's kind of in the antiquated system called SWIFT, the antiquated banking system called SWIFT. They want to change that to XRP. Ripple is another word for it. So they want to change their banking procedure so they can move money from country to country, so they can pick up a lot more Bitcoin from their customers and allow their customers to deposit Bitcoin over borders. Because there's a lot of people in a lot of countries buying Bitcoin. They want to access the Federal Reserve, our banks in the United States, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, my bank, I don't know the name of my bank. Okay, all the banks in the country want Bitcoin from Portugal, Spain. Those people can quickly move their money if the banks use XRP. XRP is roughly $2. The institutions are dumping it, so they can buy Bitcoin. But pretty soon, they're going to turn around once they get some Bitcoin. They're going to go buy XRP. And when they buy XRP, the value of the XRP token will go up from $2.10 to $50, right? And you'll make 20 times your money. So as much as I like Bitcoin, I also like XRP. You'd be prudent and wise to buy either Bitcoin or XRP. Okay? Or you can watch 50 videos on YouTube, which I suggest you do. I'd like to bring you along. So start watching those videos. Get YouTube TV on your television. It's free. It has some commercials, or you can pay for it, but it comes right on your television screen over Roku. And start watching these, or watch them on your phone. But I suggest the television is a much better way to do it. But we want to start watching videos about XRP. Okay, watch XRP. What is XRP? Let's get this clear before we go further, because I'll be talking about this every week. XRP is an accounting system the banks use to move money. It's a transfer system to move currencies around the United States and from the United States to Portugal, Spain, any country that they choose. And it's voluntary, of course. Any country that wants to use it can use it. But all the people in that country will have access to the United States banking system. And that's important because not only do we want dollars to move internationally into the United States banking system, we want Bitcoin to move. And this XRP will make it easier for Bitcoin to move into your bank accounts, into the Federal Reserve accounts. So as Bitcoin grows, XRP, as Bitcoin grows with XRP attached to it, and the banking system will get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm not going to say what's going on with the Federal Reserve. I'm not an expert. There's my disclaimer. Okay, but how does the banking system attract Bitcoin if it doesn't have a good transfer system? A way for payment systems. Right now, SWIFT takes a couple hours to move your money from one country to another. Instead of a couple hours with XRP, you'll be able to move your money within a minute. From a couple hours, it'll go down to a minute. That's what the banking system wants. They want this technology, and only XRP can provide that technology. And once all these banks acquire XRP, the value of that will go up, and you want to buy it because you want value to go up. So those are the two hottest stories. Are there a lot of good crypto coins out there? Maybe there are, but I'm not going to recommend them. I'll make this simple: XRP and Bitcoin. And you should be looking at these very strongly and use what you can. I mean, if you've got a TV, you can get YouTube and watch the XRP videos. It is a great way to learn about the entire ecosystem of crypto, decentralized finance, crypto, and NFTs maybe, but from a vantage point of of XRP and Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin's being adopted around the world, and XRP will move it around a lot faster. And that's the bottom line here: is you want to attach yourself to Bitcoin, you should buy XRP, because XRP will go up just like Bitcoin is going up. Will it go up to 100,000? Who knows? But it'll be a very substantial player in the financial world. XRP. That's signing off now. Blue Collar Crypto. We've done about 20 minutes. I'd give you more, but I'm talking about Bitcoin and XRP, and you do your research. Use discretion. Thank you, and happy holidays. Okay, see you next Blue Collar Crypto Show. This is Tim Torosian. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim, for all of that information about crypto. Again, we are here every Sunday at 4 and 5:30 p.m. Central. We do have other shows in the network as well. So if you are interested in being a guest on this We Got a Crypto Show or any of the other shows, please let us know. Can make that happen. And here's a way to check out other people that we're working with, like just joined the Disability Channel, Marcus Hart of Transform You, Earl Williams of the Midwest Wisconsin Podcast, Zach Clayton of the Back Channel, Mark Valen of the On Your Mark TV, and Jerry Sarver Johnson, and others, and all of the great work that they're doing. So until our next show, hope everybody has a safe and productive week, and to stay cool, especially here in Addison area where it's warm. Till next time, thank you, everybody.